Hello and welcome. We're running the Falken Tire Sports Car Challenge Series at Watkins, Glen in the LMP3. We're the number one car in top split. Decided not to qualify because I am so far off pace. I didn't want to embarrass myself by having to start in last anyway. We're just going to try to manage traffic this race, figure out the car more, try to get into the 38s. I was really struggling to put in any kind of a clean lap in practice. Kept going wide in turn 1 and turn 8 and invalidating almost every single one of my laps. Just really wanted to run this race this week. Enjoyed the car when I drove it at Mid-Ohio for the first time. Plenty for me to learn, but yeah, wanted to have fun cutting through traffic, and we'll just get into the start. The car ahead of us is leaving a really big gap, but that's fine with me, not trying to make any really overly ambitious moves in lap 1, but I do want to stay with the pack if I can. Draft is pretty significant in these cars, I've found. We have a car to our inside, and a car goes spinning on the left, so we gain a position there, but we're getting bottled up by the 2x2 cars ahead of us. So we're lifting, just trying to stay in line, but both cars behind us get a very big run. Almost get taken 3 wide middle, but the car behind us does back off, thankfully, going into the bus stop. He was taking it easy right at the beginning of the race, so I was going to be surprised if he was trying to overtake me at the bus stop already on lap 1. One car spun, but otherwise a pretty clean start so far. This is a 30-minute race, multi-class with the GT4s, no pit stop required. Ahead of us, a car looks to the inside and one goes really wide. They're actually 3 wide, make side-to-side contact and spin. One car's rolling onto the apex and just clips us in the left rear. We do like a half spin, have to let the rest of the LMP3 cars go by and get rolling again. Really frustrating. I tried to avoid that as best as I could, but the car just kept rolling onto the curb. Yeah, so car understeers heavily into the next corner. I'm worried that I'm a little broken, but the car's fine from what I can tell. I didn't get a message from my spotter about damage or anything. A little frustrated, but as long as the car is fine, I can still run this race as a practice for making lap time and navigating traffic. I wasn't expecting to get a good finish anyway, but disappointed to be taken out from the pack already on lap 1. So at this point, it's a recovery race, but it can still be fun in its own right. It's just a fun car to drive. We'll try to make the most of it. We'll pull up the replay real quick. Just get clipped in the left rear right behind the wheel. Doesn't look like there's any damage from the replay. Yeah, unfortunate. We also had to come to a full stop basically to get it going again, so lost close to 5 seconds just to the car ahead of us, but even more to that than to the pack ahead, obviously.
You got a slow car on the right.
Car ahead spun in the bus stop and we almost did the same thing. Not sure if he hit anything. But at least we have another car to run close to. It's a bit slow coming through the toe of the boot and lifts. Gives us the position. I'm not sure if we're really faster than him, but we'll take the spot. Skipping ahead a lap, we're at the beginning of lap 4 now. We run wide in turn 1. The car behind hasn't been able to stay with us, so he must not have any damage, or at least not more damage than us. Or maybe he does and he's just that much faster. We've maintained a similar gap over the last lap to the cars ahead. They do have a little advantage from the draft, but I noticed on the relative another car gets spun in the bus stop area. Not sure where he is. And there's 2 cars on the outside of the carousel that we get by really quickly. That puts us up into 12th position. Skipping ahead another couple laps, beginning lap 7. We've been able to maintain distance still to the cars ahead of us. Looking at the track map, the leaders in the LMP3 class are just getting to the end of the GT4 field now. And they're hitting the bus stop right as we're going through the beginning of the S's. Probably 1 lap away from hitting the GT4 field for us. 7 seconds is plenty of time to lose in traffic like that, and you know, they're going to have their own battle up there, so we may have the chance to close up a little bit. There are a lot of fast corners at Watkins Glen, obviously, so as long as you're not running the same line as the GT4 car and getting held behind, you can make overtakes rather easily. It can get awkward when you're at the end of the straightaways. You just have to commit on the brakes later, but that can be tricky to do into the bus stop or turn 8 and turn 1 especially as well. But there's a lot of room here. Watkins Glen is a very good track for multi-class racing, in my opinion. That's our 3rd or 4th off track in that corner of this race.
You're gaining on the car in front. The gap is 3.7 seconds.
So a few cars ahead of us had issues with the GT4s, I believe, and cost them a few seconds of time. We're only 3.5 seconds behind the next LMP3 car.
Clear on the left.
Beginning lap 8, we're definitely going to catch all of the GT4 cars this lap and next. We'll let the TV cam roll in the background too. Pretty clean so far, navigating traffic. A little awkward with the 23. I thought he was going to stay close to the curb in turn 9 and we could just roll around the outside, but we had to cut it back inside. Slow LMP3 and a spun GT4 at the beginning of the pit lane. We take advantage and move up another position into 10th place for the moment. The 30 car ahead of us definitely lost several seconds in traffic as well. We'll clear this Porsche going into the bus stop and then just one more GT4 to get by.
Clear.
Alright, so we're the GT4 field for the first time, and we did make up a lot of time on the cars ahead of us. The goal here is to stay in the draft of the 30 car, maybe make an overtake if we have the chance. Everyone in the LMP3 field can make up lap time again, because the GT4 cars are pretty much all bunched up together in that group, so there's going to be no multi-class traffic slowing anyone down until we reach the field for the second time, likely with 2 or 3 laps left in the race. But there are 4 LMP3s just within 5 seconds of us, so we've been able to recover some time from our lap 1 incident.
40.027. You're in the top 10.
Skipping ahead now to the middle of lap 12. We've stayed pretty close to the car ahead of us. Lost a little bit time to the LMP3s ahead of him, but not too major. We got by the one stray BMW GT4. 10 minutes to go in this race. Here I noticed that I was actually going to be kind of close on fuel. We were saving on the pace lap, but I thought I was pretty safe with my fuel level at the beginning of the race. Maybe I was just burning more because of not being in the draft or running faster. We're not really doing anything to save fuel. We don't have to, but just off my screen or what's being recorded, I do have the iRacing default fuel calculator, and it was showing that I was just a couple tenths of a gallon to the good at this point, so I'm aware. Shouldn't be an issue with having to manage the GT4 traffic, and yeah, I can lift and coast a little bit. I might be able to take some draft advantage on those cars too. Damage could have also been hurting my fuel mileage slightly, not sure. Moving on to the beginning of lap 14, the leaders are just catching the bulk of the GT4 field again. A few of the faster LMP3 cars who had problems earlier are behind us, but we have about 7 seconds to them, so not too worried with only 7.5 minutes to go. Struggling through the bus stop all race. There is an exact right amount of curve to take, and if you bounce, it's very easy to just oversteer into the left side wall. Approaching the GT4 field as they start to go up the S's.
39.346. Left side. Clear.
Get through the carousel pretty well that time. Almost the entire field is in the boot at this moment. Both classes have stayed pretty well packed up for this race. The LMP3 ahead of us gets a little checked up by the yellow Porsche and the BMW fighting for 9th place in GT4. So we gain about half a second.
Clear on the left.
He's going to easily get by the BMW going into turn 10. We can take this corner flat out, but unsure to go right or left, and we have to take it off track wide in turn 10. Thankfully, no contact, but lost a little bit of time. There was no way we were getting by him without compromising a little bit of time. Going to turn 1 also, I wasn't sure to send it on the inside of Matt or not, but I backed off and just decided to pass him right on the exit. We probably could have just committed inside going to turn 1, but if he didn't see me coming really, which he may not have, I could have really easily gotten turned into. Wanted to avoid that. Big gaggle of GT4s ahead of us going to the bus stop. We're going to catch them right at the exit probably. But even earlier, we're caught up behind them slow in the middle of the corner. We're able to pass all of them on the outside rather quickly, but we give back a lot of time to the 30 car ahead of us. Under 4 minutes to go in the race. I see the second and third place GT4s ahead of us. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to catch them going to turn 8. Might have a chance. We get right up behind the Porsche, side by side, no problem. BMW though has the corner, so we have to wait on him and pass right on the exit. The 30 car gets by the GT4 leader, no problem. And again, we might be checked up into turn 10. We get around the outside easier this lap, but we're more than 2 seconds back on 9th place. And with that, we've gotten through the entire GT4 field for the second time. Unlikely that more GT4 traffic will come into play. 3 laps to go, 2.5 seconds back from 9th place. They're battling ahead of him. We're not going to make up 2 seconds per lap just on pace. Although we are going a lot faster than our fastest lap at the start of this one. See smoke ahead, 1 car off in the bus stop. The 27, that's for position. The 17 is now directly ahead of us. He was battling with the 27 earlier, so they definitely came together. 17 car could be damaged. Well, it's clear the 17 car, if they have any damage, is not affecting them at all. He was faster than the 30 before, so maybe in these last 2 laps he can try to attempt to pass on the 30 and slow both of them down and give me an opportunity. Somehow on lap 17 we've gone more than a second faster than our fastest clean lap, which puts us into a 38.7, which was my fastest lap of the race. I'd love to be able to do those just from the start of the race. I don't know if it just took me that long to get the right amount of heat in the tires, or the car being lighter with very little fuel, or what, but I did not have that pace early in the race. Still, we've lost a little bit of time to the 17 car on the last lap. He misses the final corner in the bus stop and probably gets a slowdown. Gets onto the inside curve of the carousel. GT4 just doesn't give us quite enough space. A little bit of an awkward moment, we lost time there. The 17 car may not have gotten a slowdown, or if he did, it was really insignificant because we did not gain any time on him.
The leader is running 37.863. Car 22 has taken the lead.
Apparently there was a change for the lead of the race at that lap.
You just got the white flag. That means one more lap to go. You have about one lap of fuel left.
Final lap, and I realized that I had exactly the right amount of fuel, as my spotter verifies. I'm still pushing as hard as I can. I had to just stay close enough to these guys. If they make a mistake, I might be able to take advantage of it. I was not really thinking about saving fuel. I was pretty confident I was going to have enough to make it to the end. One more GT4 comes into play.
Left side. Clear.
Putting in a pretty good lap, but it's not going to be enough to get us a chance to make a move for 8th place. We run a little wide coming out of turn 9, so that really does it. But ahead, the 30 car actually runs out of fuel and goes to block the 17 for some reason and going into the final corner, and they take each other out, which just hands us 7th position. Did not expect that. And then we run out of fuel just after crossing the start-finish line. You can hear the engine sputtering. 7th place. Better than I expected, honestly, going into the race, considering my pace and practice compared to the other cars. Very competitive field. We were handed a lot of positions, but still, we learned a little bit. It was a lot of fun navigating traffic, making up what I could, out of the race, despite the early accident and starting from last, essentially. Yeah, so glad I did it. Racing's fun, even when you're not fighting for the win. Take a look at the replay from that last second wreck. Yeah, the 17 hits the 30 in the right rear right as he runs out of fuel, and then they just kind of get together. The 30 was never going to keep that position, but the 17 may not have known that he ran out of fuel and didn't really give any room, but it worked out for us really well. The strength of field in the LMP3 class was just over 3,000, and with a 7th place finish, we got 111 championship points. So, pretty decent result considering everything. Thanks for watching.